Hey guys, fortunately I'm not here today. I had have a sick kid at home that I'm taking care of. So I'm going to do a few of the homework problems here for you. Just make sure that you at least get to see an example of each type. So without further ado, let me get rid of my ugly mug. Bye, ugly mug. And let's do a few of these. Okay, so let's go through number one here. Now, I wanted to make sure we did a few problems specifically that were just finding slope. So all we're doing is finding the slope. Remember, the slope equation is this. So we got x's on, or sorry, y's on top, x's on the bottom, and that's all we're going to do is find the slope. So remember, this is x, y, x, y. Now I'm going to have us starting with that one. So I have negative 20 minus positive 20. Excuse me. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Start again. Negative 20 minus 7. Got to subtract the y's. And then on the bottom, I have my x's. Now, since I started with negative 20, I have to start with negative 16. So I have negative 16 minus 20. So negative 20 minus 7 is negative 27. Negative 16 minus 20 is negative 36. And I need to simplify this. So we can use our Desmos scientific calculator, and you can type this in and do that. The one thing you need to make sure of is that negative divided by negative, that should be a positive. And this one you can actually divide by 9, and we get 3/4. Okay, for our simplified fraction. So these first four, all you are doing is finding the slope. That's it. Okay, nothing more than that. Now we get to number 5. Okay, now this is what one of the big problems on our final project is going to be, is being able to do the slope intercept form. So I went ahead with this first one. I'm giving you the slope, and then we have a data point. So remember our steps. Okay, our steps are number one, find the slope. Okay, so if I'm finding the slope, remember we're using that slope equation. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then my second step is we're going to find the y-intercept. And that's the b. And when we do that, remember we're plugging 3 numbers, our y, our m, and our x, into our slope-intercept form, and then we're going to figure out the b. And that's what we're going to do here, is mainly focus on the second step. So 1, find the slope. We got it right there. They told us it. Now, one thing that we do have is we will be using decimals. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use this negative 0.625. Okay, and I'm not going to go ahead and round this because I know that this is a terminating decimal, and I want to make sure that I keep it pretty exact. So we got our slope as a decimal. We have our data point. There's our x, there's our y, and we are going to find our slope. So I always like to write down my slope-intercept form. Okay, my y number is negative 2. My m is the negative 0.625. My x is a 3 plus b. And remember, the b is what we are going to be finding. That's the only thing we don't know yet. So let's start by multiplying. We got negative 2 equals negative 0.625 times 3 is negative 1.875. Add 1.875 to both sides. And I'm going to get negative 0.1. Okay, so my final answer in slope-intercept form would be y equals, use your slope here that we have. Let's use a decimal because that's what we're going to be typically getting in this project. Negative 0.625 x plus the b we just found, negative 0.125. Okay. Now, the last type is where you're doing all of the work. Okay, so let's look at number 9 here. Okay, so for number 9, we are writing the slope-intercept form. Okay, so there's my slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And in step 1, remember, we got to find our slope. So we're trying to find the m. And we have it here. We don't have it here. We have our x, y, x, y. So start with negative 2 minus negative 5. Subtracting my y's. Now, since I started with the negative 2, I have to start with the 2 on the bottom. So it'd be 2 minus 4. Function of my calculator, negative 2 minus negative 5 is positive 3. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. And since we're going to be using decimals for a lot of this, 3 divided by negative 2 is negative 1.5. So we have that part. We have our m. Negative 1.5x. Now, we've got to find our y-intercept, the b. Okay, so choose one data point. I'm going to use this first one. So I'm using the 4, negative 5. And the slope that we just figured out. And we're going to plug them into slope-intercept form. So my y is negative 5. My m is the negative 1.5. And the x is our 4. The only thing we don't know is the b. It's the only thing we haven't figured out. So let's solve this. Negative 1.5 times 4 is 6. Sorry, negative 6. Add 6 to both sides to solve. And I get 1. And I can just add that here. Plus 1. And I have my y-intercept. Okay, that's what you're going to be doing with those last, I think there's 8 problems. Maybe 10. Okay, so that last set of problems on the back side, it is this process throughout the entire thing. Okay, sub should have an answer key, so make sure you are checking your answers with them, and we'll be turning this in tomorrow during class. Okay, bye 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 bye.